Hello students of Standard 10, DAV Mobile Public School welcomes you all in e-learning classes. Here Nitin Pushpatode, your social science teacher. Today's topic is sectors of the Indian economy. Okay, students, first of all, we will learn about the sectors of economic activities part first. So let's start our today's online session. Sectors of economic activities. Students, what do you mean by the economic activity? Listen, an economic activity is a process that based on inputs leads to the manufacture of good or the provision of services. So it's called economic activity. Students, the activities which are conducted with objective to earn money are called economic activities. Some of these activities produce goods and other produce services. Students, activities are classified in various groups according to their nature. So students, in such a way that economic activities are classified in three different ways. First, primary sector, second, secondary sector, and third one, tertiary sector. Beside that, again some organized and unorganized public and private sectors activities are there. Okay students, so first of all, we will learn about primary sectors. Okay, primary sector of the economy involves conversion of natural resources into primary products. Thus, this sector is directly associated with the nature. Yes, students, this includes agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, and extraction of oil and gas. Students, most of the natural products are obtained from agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry. So it's also called agricultural and related sector. Students, you are seeing two pictures. These are the pictures of primary activities, agriculture and fishing. Next sector is secondary sector. Okay, students, what do you mean by the secondary activities? Listen, a secondary activities is an activity performed by a unit in addition to its principal activity. The result of a secondary activity is called a secondary production. Students, secondary sectors of the economy or industrial sector includes those economic activities that create a finished product. This includes manufacturing and construction. Students, here natural products converted into other forms through the manufacturing processes which may take place in a factories, workshops or at home. For example, students, yarn and cloths, weaving from cotton, then second, sugar or gur from the sugarcane. So these are the examples of secondary activities. Students, since the development in the secondary sector became associated with the different kinds of industries, so that's why it's also called industrial sector. Students, textile industries, manufacturing, sugar factories. Okay, these pictures you are seeing. So these are the secondary activities. Students, these activities play an important role in Indian economy. Next one, tertiary sector. Okay, students, what do you mean by the tertiary activities? Listen, tertiary activity consists of all service occupations, transport, communication, trade, health, education, and administration are important examples of tertiary activities. Students, the activities that help in the development of primary and secondary sectors are covered in tertiary sectors. That means it's called tertiary activities. Students, these activities don't produce goods, but they provide services that support the production process. For example, transport, storage, communication, banking, etc. So that's why it's also known as service sector. Yes, student, tertiary sector refers as service sector. It also includes some essential services provided by the professionals. For example, doctors, lawyers, teachers, barbers, etc. And information technology such as software industries, internet cafe, ATM booths, again the business process outsourcing, that means the BPO, knowledge process outsourcing, that means KPO, and call centers. That all are the examples of tertiary sectors. Yes, students, tertiary sectors play an important role in the contribution of Indian economy. Next one is organized sector. Okay, students, listen. Organized sector is a sector where the employment terms are fixed and regular, and the employees get assured work. It's called organized sector. Students, it's called organized sector because it has some formal processes and procedures. Students, these enterprises are registered by the government and have to follow the rules and regulations framed under the various laws like Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Guarantee Act. Definitely, students, this act provides security to the employees who are working in an organized sector. Students, what are the advantages of organized sector? Listen, workers in the organized sectors have a security of employment. Second, work for a fixed number of hours and get additional overtime wages. Third one, they get medical benefits and the management has to ensure the facilities like clean drinking water and the safe working environment. So these are the advantages, benefits of organized sector. Next one is unorganized sectors. It is totally opposite to organized sectors. Listen, students, unorganized sector is one where the employment terms are not fixed and regular, as well as the enterprises are not registered with the government. Students, this sector is characterized by small and scattered units. Students, governmental rules and regulations are not followed in unorganized sector. Workers get lower wages and there is no provision for overtime payments, paid holidays or paid leaves due to sickness. Students, these are the features of unorganized sectors. A large number of people doing jobs like street hawkers, repair workmen, and domestic servants. Students, you are seeing the pictures of domestic servants and street hawkers. So, these work come under the unorganized sector. In a rural areas, unorganized sector comprise, that means consist among the landless agricultural laborers, then small and marginal farmers and artisans like weavers, blacksmiths, carpenters, goldsmiths. So students, this entire work come under the unorganized sector. Students, how can we protect the unorganized sector workers? How can we? Listen first. So students, to arrange the alternative source of employment. Secondly, then we should run the public work program. So in such a way that we can protect the unorganized unorganized sector workers. Students, on the basis of ownership, there are two sectors of the economy. First, public sector, and second, private sector. Okay, students, first of all, we will discuss about public sector. Students, what do we mean by the public sector? Listen, public sector consists of governments and all publicly controlled agencies, enterprises, and other entities that deliver public programs, goods, or services. Students, in the public sector, governments owns most of the assets and provides all the services. Therefore, it's called government sector. So, for example, Indian Railways, Magnizor India Limited, banking, Bharat EV Electrical Limited, etc. So these are the public sectors. Students, in India, public sector predominates in mining, power generation, healthcare, education, etc., which belong to the infrastructure development or the core activities. Definitely, students, in our country, public sector provides and create a lot of employment to the people of our country. Students, what is the function? What is the role of public sector in our country? Listen, first, developing infrastructure, then developing backward regions, again encourage the private sector to open small scale industries, then support farmers, then provide the healthcare facilities, dealing with the problems of malnutrition. So students, these are the functions of public sector. Definitely it has a great importance in the contribution of Indian economy. Private sector. Okay, students, the private sector is the part of the economy that is run by individuals and companies for profit. Students, in the private sector, ownership of assets and delivery of services lies in the hands of individuals or private companies. For example, TISCO, that means Tata Group, Adani Power Plants, Bajaj Group, Reliance Group. So these are the private sectors. Definitely students, in our country, these private sectors creates a lot of job for the people. Private sectors predominates in agriculture, trade, hotel, manufacturing of goods. Students, in such a way that private sector play an important role in the Indian economy. They create a lot of jobs, employment for the people. Okay, students, in such a way that today we learned various sectors of economic activities. Students, on the basis of taught portion, some assignment question I am giving you. Okay, students, remaining part of this lesson we will learn in the next online session. So, till then, thank you very much and have a nice day.